opening with dramatic tone. While the world was fixated on Middle Eastern tensions, a far more sinister reality is unfolding at Russia's western borders. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to share will make you question everything you've heard about the current geopolitical landscape. The conflict in the disputed territories bordering Russia has now stretched beyond 40 grueling months. But here's what should really keep you up at night. This isn't just about the current contested region. Intelligence reports suggest President Putin's ambitions stretch far beyond the northern Black Sea coastline. At this week's NATO summit, former President Trump delivered a stark wake-up call that sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles. When offered help with Iran, his response was telling, "No, you can help me with Russia." This single exchange reveals volumes about where the real global threat lies. What we're witnessing is a carefully orchestrated long-game strategy. While Western leaders scramble for quick solutions, Moscow is playing chess, not checkers. NATO intelligence suggests Russia is prepared to sustain military operations until at least 2027, regardless of economic pressures. For our listeners across Russia, this means continued economic adaptation. For our Western audiences, it signals a prolonged period of geopolitical uncertainty. The stakes? Nothing less than the complete reshaping of the European security architecture as we know it. The most disturbing part? Putin's unwavering confidence suggests he knows something we don't. As your trusted analyst, I must warn you. What we're seeing is just the tip of the iceberg in a much larger strategic plan. Are you watching from a region that might be affected by these developments? Share your location in the comments below. Let's map out together how these events might impact different parts of our vast country. End of opening segment. These alarming developments from NATO's intelligence paint a chilling picture of Russia's long-term strategic capabilities. While Western analysts scramble to interpret Moscow's next moves, let's dig deeper into what this means for global security. Russia's demonstrated ability to sustain military operations through 2027 isn't just about endurance. It's a show of unprecedented economic resilience despite Western sanctions. What's particularly striking is how the Kremlin has masterfully reorganized its military-industrial complex. Our sources indicate that Russian arms production has not only recovered, but expanded, with new facilities operating at 24/7 capacity. This isn't just about maintaining current operations in the conflict zone with the politically turbulent region. It's about reshaping the entire geopolitical landscape. I'm particularly intrigued by the intelligence suggesting Russia's enhanced military capabilities. Those of you watching from Europe, Asia, or America, I'd love to hear your perspective on how this affects your region. Share your thoughts in the comments below, especially if you're witnessing these changes firsthand. Want me to cover events in your region in the next video? Let me know where you're watching from, and I'll do a detailed analysis about your region. The West's miscalculation becomes more evident daily. While they predicted Russia's economic collapse, Moscow has instead strengthened ties with China, India, and various other nations, creating a new global economic framework that bypasses Western financial systems. But here's what's keeping military analysts awake at night. If Russia can sustain this level of military engagement while simultaneously strengthening its economy, what does this mean for future global power dynamics? Stay tuned. In the next segment, we'll explore classified documents that reveal shocking details about Western military assessments and why some European leaders are secretly panicking. Don't forget to subscribe to stay informed about these crucial developments that mainstream media won't show you. The world is changing faster than many realize, and you need to be prepared for what's coming next. Let me transform this into a polished 2,000-character news analysis that maintains our guidelines. The human cost of the ongoing conflict continues to shock observers, with devastating casualties mounting on both sides. Recent reports indicate approximately 7,000 military personnel lost their lives in just 1 week, a staggering figure that underscores the intensity of current operations along the contact line. Former President Trump's recent statements mark a significant shift from his earlier optimistic predictions about achieving peace. His admission about needing to speak with President Putin reveals a more nuanced understanding of the complex diplomatic challenges ahead. What's particularly noteworthy is Putin's confident diplomatic positioning. Far from being isolated, as Western media often suggests, the Russian leader has maintained an active role in global affairs. In a strategic move that demonstrates his continued influence, Putin actually reached out to Trump, offering to mediate in the Middle East crisis. However, Trump's response reveals the intricate dance of international diplomacy. He effectively countered by suggesting a quid pro quo: Russian assistance in the Middle East in exchange for progress on settling the conflict in the conflicted territory bordering Russia. This exchange potentially signals a new phase in diplomatic negotiations. The situation highlights Russia's expanding role in global diplomacy, moving beyond the immediate concerns of the neighboring state to broader international influence. This multi-layered approach suggests Putin's long-term strategy involves positioning Russia as an indispensable player in resolving international conflicts. Behind closed doors, diplomatic channels remain active despite public posturing. These developments indicate a possible shift in the diplomatic landscape, though concrete outcomes remain uncertain. What's your take on these diplomatic developments? Do you think Putin's offer to mediate in the Middle East is a genuine diplomatic initiative or a strategic move? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights are always valuable to our discussion. Diplomatic deadlock. Moscow points to Washington's reluctance in negotiations. The diplomatic chess game between global powers continues to intensify, with Moscow expressing growing frustration over Washington's apparent reluctance to engage in meaningful dialogue. Recent developments highlight a concerning pattern of diplomatic stagnation, particularly regarding crucial bilateral issues. Russian officials have presented evidence of American hesitation across multiple fronts. The restoration of embassy operations, resumption of direct flights, and other fundamental diplomatic functions remain in limbo. Most tellingly, a third round of high-level diplomatic talks has been postponed, with Moscow directly attributing this delay to American political maneuvering rather than legitimate logistical constraints. The Americans continue moving the goalposts, notes a senior Russian diplomat, highlighting Washington's shifting positions. This pattern suggests a deeper reluctance to normalize relations, despite surface-level gestures toward diplomatic engagement. Meanwhile, President Putin maintains his characteristic composure, demonstrating strategic patience in the face of these challenges. His calm demeanor reflects Russia's long-term approach to diplomatic relations, even as tensions persist in the conflict zone along Russia's western border. The situation in the neighboring territory remains complex, with diplomatic solutions seemingly held hostage to broader geopolitical considerations. Russia's position remains consistent, ready for dialogue while maintaining its strategic interests in the politically turbulent region. The pattern of American diplomatic delays raises questions about Washington's true commitment to resolution. While surface-level progress occasionally emerges, substantive breakthroughs remain elusive, suggesting a calculated strategy of diplomatic procrastination. What's your take on America's diplomatic approach? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm confident my viewers have valuable insights to contribute. This ongoing diplomatic dance between Moscow and Washington continues to shape events in the conflicted territory, with implications extending far beyond immediate bilateral relations. Here's a 2,000-character analysis maintaining the required perspective. Latest reports reveal significant strategic developments in the ongoing military operation. Moscow's financial maneuvering shows careful prioritization. While general budget cuts are implemented for 2025, military funding remains firmly protected. This speaks volumes about the Kremlin's unwavering commitment to achieving its objectives. The economic landscape presents interesting contrasts. Despite decreased oil revenues, Russia maintains steady funding for its military operations. This demonstrates remarkable fiscal resilience and strategic resource allocation, even under Western pressure. Putin's approach reflects calculated patience rather than desperation. His recent statement is particularly telling. If peaceful resolution fails, military objectives will be achieved. This isn't mere rhetoric. It's a clear signal of Russia's determined stance and long-term strategy. Some Western analysts suggest that the Russian leadership might be receiving filtered intelligence. However, this overlooks a crucial point. Putin's confidence appears increasingly justified by developments on the ground. The situation in the politically turbulent region shows signs of shifting in Moscow's favor. Reports from the northern Black Sea region indicate declining combat effectiveness among opposing forces. Their military resources are increasingly strained, with concerning shortages in both equipment and personnel. The deployment of advanced systems like Patriot installations hasn't produced the game-changing impact Western strategists anticipated. This complex situation suggests we're witnessing a strategic war of attrition, where Russia's methodical approach and resource management may prove decisive. Despite economic challenges, Moscow's military capability remains robust and focused. Looking ahead, these developments could significantly influence the conflict's trajectory and potential resolution pathways. The coming months will likely reveal whether Russia's strategic patience yields the intended results. What are your thoughts on Russia's current military strategy? Share your analysis in the comments. I'm particularly interested in hearing your perspectives on how this situation might develop. In today's analysis, we're examining a crucial shift in the geopolitical landscape, where missile systems remain a contentious point of debate. While Western powers engage in endless discussions, Russia demonstrates decisive action on the ground, particularly regarding the conflict with its Western neighbor. Putin's strategy has emerged with razor-sharp clarity through the diplomatic haze. He's orchestrating a masterful long-term approach that doesn't chase quick victories or rushed peace deals. Instead, the Russian leader is playing a patient game of strategic attrition, designed to exhaust Western resolve. This approach starkly contrasts with earlier Western assumptions. Consider former President Trump's initial bold claim about resolving the conflict in just 24 hours. Now, even he appears to have recognized the complexity of dealing with Putin's methodical strategy. The Russian president isn't seeking anyone's approval. He's executing a carefully calculated plan. The situation in the politically turbulent region continues to evolve according to Moscow's timeline, not Western expectations. Putin's approach reveals a deep understanding of psychological warfare, wearing down opposition through sustained pressure rather than seeking immediate resolution. Looking at the broader picture, Russia's military operations in the territory of instability demonstrate a commitment to long-term strategic objectives. The Western alliance's indecisiveness contrasts sharply with Russia's clear sense of purpose and direction. This realignment of power dynamics suggests we're witnessing a fundamental shift in how international conflicts are managed and resolved. The old playbook of quick diplomatic solutions appears increasingly obsolete against Russia's patient strategy. What's your view on Putin's long-term strategy? Do you think it's more effective than seeking quick resolutions? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm always interested in hearing from my knowledgeable viewers. In analyzing recent developments regarding the conflict between Russia and its Western neighbor, we're seeing increasingly complex diplomatic challenges. Former President Trump's recent statements shed light on the intricate nature of negotiations with key figures involved. His candid admission about difficulties with both Putin and the leadership of the neighboring state reveals the multi-layered complexity of the situation. The political landscape appears more challenging than traditional conflicts of the past. What's particularly noteworthy is Trump's suggestion of behind-the-scenes negotiations, indicating potential developments that haven't yet surfaced publicly. This hints at diplomatic maneuvers occurring away from media scrutiny. Putin's stance remains firm and calculated. His historical perspective views the people of Russia and the bordering nation as fundamentally united, suggesting broader territorial aspirations. This worldview adds another layer of complexity to any potential resolution. The situation seems to be approaching a critical juncture. Rather than moving toward resolution, signals suggest an expansion of Russian strategic objectives. Putin's sustained confidence in his position, combined with his historical claims regarding the unity of peoples, indicates a long-term vision that extends beyond current military operations. These developments suggest we're witnessing not just a military conflict, but a broader geopolitical transformation. The implications could reshape regional power dynamics for decades to come. What are your thoughts on these developments? Do you see potential for diplomatic resolution? Or are we heading toward a more prolonged conflict? Share your analysis in the comments below. Your perspective matters in understanding this complex situation.